Hey, true believers, Chris Mack coming at you with an absolutely uncanny weekend figure review. Today we are going over the Marvel Legends Deadpool Strong Guy Build-A-Figure Wave, Warpath and Sunspot. And I have been looking high and low for these figures, so I want to give a shout out to my buddy Jacob. He found these for me. We're part of a local toy chat. And he found these, and so we met up, and he hooked me up. So I appreciate you so much, brother, for finding these figures for me. Super, super awesome of you. So you would think that, this being the Deadpool, they would have put Deadpool here, but they put X-Force, which is cool because both these were part of the Liefeld Nicieza era. So yeah, absolutely good stuff there. So first, let's go ahead and look at Sunspot, and then we'll jump into Warpath. So Mr. DaCosta here, you see how it says Sunspot. Love the X-Force logo. Get the X-Men varnish there on the top, so very cool there. And then it says Strong Guy. Love it. Come around here, and these artist renditions on these are really great. That really showcases the 90s Sunspot very, very well. Now, I hope that, fingers crossed that they eventually make a new mutant version. Same with Cannonball. But anyway, you flip around here to the back. Really cool product shot. Read up figures you need from the wave, so I'll make sure you get close-ups of those where you guys can pause them, read them at your leisure. Come around here to the side, same awesome artist rendition there. On the bottom, all the legal stuff, whatever. But let's go and get Sunspot off to the side for now so we can focus on Mr. Sunspot. Warpath here. Not enough coffee yet, folks. And I'm so excited for this one. I've been wanting a Warpath for a while. He's always been one of my favorites. I hope we eventually do get an I know he's part of X-Force, but the Wolverine X-Force where he was in the all gray. That was a cool look. So just like with the DaCosta, you get that great varnish of the X-Men logo. It says Strong Guy there, Warpath there. Flip it around, and I just love the power that they show of him right here. That's just a great, beautiful rendition of Warpath right there. Come around to the side, cool, product shot there. Read up figures, pause them so you guys can read it just like with Sunspot. Come around here, same amazing artist rendition there. On the bottom, legal, who cares? But what we do care about here is, are these two X-Force members cool or not out of their packaging? So let's go ahead and crack these bad boys open and get a closer look at them. And here's Warpath and Sunspot out of their packaging. And guys, I'm so happy that we're finally starting to get the 90s X-Force team. I remember when these two were announced, I was like, oh yeah, because by that point we'd had Cable, Domino, Shatterstar, Boom Boom. Yeah, that's it. And just to see these two kind of rounded out, I was like, oh man, now we're all still sitting here going, where's Feral? Where's Richter? Where's Siren? Because, those three joined a little later. But just in terms of these two figures, they're absolutely beautiful. I love the way they're sculpted, love the way they're painted, very well done. I think these are great comic articulated figures, so let's go ahead and get them off the spinner now that we've had a moment to gush and get a closer look at both of them. Backstory on Warpath here is his first appearance was New Mutants number 16, and he called himself Thunderbird as homage to his brother who has died in Uncanny X-Men number 95. So he joined the Hellions, which is run by Emma Frost, to get revenge on the X-Men. But he eventually learns from his mistakes and does join the New Mutants in issue 99 with the tutelage of Cable. And also, if you want some more backstory on that, check out Classic X-Men number 3. We did a review on that, so I'll make sure to leave a link up at the top. And what that issue is, it's a reprint of Uncanny X-Men number 95 with a follow-up story with the funeral of the original Thunderbird. Now for Sunspot, his first appearance was the Marvel graphic novel number 4, The New Mutants. We've gone over that, so I'll make sure to leave a link so you can kind of check out Robert DaCosta's backstory as well. And then later down the road, he leaves the team in New Mutants number 99 because his father died and he has to take over the DaCosta company. And that's kind of a quick backstory on both of these figures. They both have really rich stories, so please make sure to check them out. Now, for accessories, we'll start with Warpath. The only thing that he comes with is he comes with these two open hands, and then he also comes with closed fists. Now, what kind of irks me right off the bat is the fact that he comes with these open hands, but they don't give him any weapons. So if you don't have anything to put in his hands, these two closed fists are definitely the way you want to go. And I like that they paid attention to detail in terms of like how skin, you know, how it bends, how it's more pliable. So you get kind of those lines in there. It really helps in terms of when you put it under lighting, you can kind of see where the light hits. It makes it look very organic. And I'm glad that the hands also kind of have that veins. So, you know, when you make a fist, you can kind of see the veins in your hands. So very, very well detailed. I like that. And it matches the skin tone. They don't look off when you put them in. So good stuff there. Now, with the open hands, one thing I do want to stress is I think it was the Toy Biz, but the original Toy Biz Warpath came with these blades. From what I understand is Warpath didn't have these originally, hence why I think they didn't give them to him. But it just does not feel, you know, like James Proudstar, every time I've read him in an X-Men book, he always has these blades. So I found these on eBay. Just go on eBay, look up Warpath blades, and these should come up. I found these as a 2-pack, or you may have to buy them individually, but it really finishes off the character. Let me show you why. So we'll use one here. And another thing, guys, please always, before you start articulating your figure or trying to put anything in their hands, warm them up. Some people use hair dryers, some people use warm water. I have a space heater, so I just hold them in front of the space heater until it's nice and loose, which allows you to get these weapons in there, which I'm having trouble because I'm trying to record this and do this at the same time. So hold on. Had these in there 2.5 seconds ago. Oh boy. There we go. But I mean, look at that. Come on. Look at how nice that looks. That just looks like the Warpath that we all know. And so, yeah, this is definitely something you guys want to get. Those things just look absolutely magnificent in there. So if you haven't got the old Warpath, definitely go on eBay, because that's where I found them. I looked on Amazon, I couldn't find them there. Or, you know, see if your local comic shop has an older version of this character. Now for Sunspot, he kind of comes with these effects, which we've seen 6 million times, which I don't mind. I always find them welcome additions. I just kind of wish there was something you can add to them to make them shoot out, kind of like a, who was it? Was it Dazzlers? I think the first Dazzler had something like that where it kind of shot off, so it made it look like there's light beams going off. Because these, you know, they kind of get to be a bit repetitive, but, you know, we've seen them, we know what they do. So nonetheless, I like that it's different color, like it's jet black, because that's what Sunspot does, because he channels the power of the sun. So not too bad. Has nice reflectant black paint on it, so no qualms there. Now as for paint apps, we'll start with Thunderbird here. Thunderbird. Warpath here. I think they did a really well job on him. The red mask, which I'm getting lots of shadows for whatever reason today, I think it's because I want to review it. Looks good, has that nice red paint about it. The white eyes, just like in the comic book. I like the black hair and the way it comes down around and frames his face. I like that they added this little white feather. I kind of wish they would have put a little bit of black wash on it to kind of just make it pop out, or some yellow or something, you know? But when you get close enough on it, let's see if we can get a close-up on it. You can kind of see how you get those nice ridges of feathers in there, so it looks more natural. It would have been kind of neat if they added some sort of like tribal little pendant to make it latch in his hair. I think that would have been cool. But it is what it is. But yeah, the paint apps overall, the skin tone looks great. I love that headband, because he always wears a headband from the older days, and that's what this character is designed from. Looks good. I love the tribal bird here. This was kind of an homage to his brother, the Thunderbird look, so that looks really nice. The shoulder pads, they look cool. I like the little frizzies. I don't remember what this is called, but it adds to the character. The only thing that will drive you nuts, and I'll give you a heads up now, is when you try to move the arm around too much, they pop off because they have these little pegs. I wish they would have made these a little bit longer so you can kind of lift it up when you're trying to lift his arm. So when you're posing him, that's going to pop off a lot. So be prepared for that. That's the only thing about this character that drives me nuts. And then these bands, you can take them off when you replace the hands, so I like that. I love the yellow around it. See, I love how they pay attention to detail where the veins pop on the muscles and whatnot. Very, very well sculpted, especially the what do you call it? Not the circulatory. You guys know what I'm trying to say. But the body type here just looks really nice. especially all the muscles here, just looks good. Love that red belt. Every time I see all the pouches, it reminds me of like an old school Batman, but that looks cool. And I like how the red and blue just go all the way down the character like that. I love these boots. Now, one thing I wish is, they gave these to Warpath, they gave these to Forge. I wish they would have done that with the Walgreens exclusive Danny Moonstar too. They gave her the headband. Yeah, they gave her a headband, but I wish they would have given her the frizzies on the boots as well. That would have been very cool. So yeah, overall, the paint apps on Warpath, very well done. And the same can be said for Sunspot. I like how they decided to give him his, instead of just giving us a regular looking character, they gave him his effect of when he channels the power of the sun. So he just becomes jet black. There goes Warpath. And you see, I like how they paid attention to the hair here, how it looks just like his hair with a little bit of like the shaveness here on the edges. And I like how you can actually see like his head, his mask is tied. That's really nice, very Ninja Turtle style. I like this effect on his back. Sadly, you can't take it off, but that's okay. It really adds to the style because when he's in full power mode, he has these black spots going all over him. I kind of wish they would have added some yellow like they did in the comics, but that's all right. I like the gold neck brace there with the X. That is very cool. And just like with Thunderbird, Warpath, they added the blue and red all through the outfit. That's okay. Love the gold bracelets there. That looks nice overall. So yeah, the paint apps on these characters are beautiful. I like those little yellow cuffs all the way down the boots. So yeah, a lot of the X-Force, when Cable finally disbanded New Mutants and made X-Force, a lot of the characters kind of took on the red and blue look to kind of give the homage to X-Men. And this was just a really awesome design by Liefeld and Nicieza. For articulation, I'm glad that a lot of these newer Marvel Legend figures are finally starting to get away from like the single joints on the elbows and the knees and getting a little more creative. So let's go ahead and start with Warpath and then we'll get into Sunspot here in a second. So his head, which we will tilt up just a little bit because he is just eating up the frame there. You can look down that much. And this is what I mean by finally getting creative is, even with the hair, look at how far down you can get him to look. And then the same thing, you can they make the hair a little more pliable so you can get him to look up about that much, which is better than a lot of the other figures that have long hair. And of course, he's kind of on the head knocker. You can get a lot of play here. So I'm glad that even though he has the long hair, as I just said, you can get some ideas. Now these shoulder pads, as I said, come off, and for the sake of articulation, I'm going to take them off because you have to, when you mess with the arms, you have to set the arm and then put them back on, because if not, they're going to pop off and they're going to drive you crazy. So arm spin 360, can go up that much, and then if you spin around this way, that much, does have the upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, thank God. And then his hands do go down and up and spin 360. Can ab crunch. Look at that. Boom, that far back. See, I'm glad that they're finally starting to figure out that we need this full range to get these really nice poses. And of course, waist swivel. And I'm glad that the belt's not in the way like some figures. Legs can go out that much that way. Kick out that much. Can go back relatively far. And then of course, double jointed knees. Can go down that much. Go down, up that much. And of course, ankle pivots, whoop, whoop. And then what I like about Thunderbird, I'm having a really bad habit of calling him that today. And for whatever reason, my camera just keeps wanting to tilt down. He does have butterfly joints, so you can get a nice range there. So if you want to get him kind of looking like he's going to be running at you, you can tilt his arms back. So I'm really glad that they added that addition of the butterfly joints. So that's the articulation for Warpath, not Thunderbird. Now for Sunspot, his head can look down that much. I'm glad that the little headband there is pliable, so you can do that. Can look that much, and he has a little bit of play, so you can get some ideas. He does have the head knocking ability, so whew, good stuff. Can go up that much, and then of course, same that way, upper bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, thank God. Arms can spin 360, and then of course his hands can go up, hands go down. And that always reminds me of Homer, bed go up, bed go down. And then of course ab crunch, boom, look at that, good stuff for the front. And then because he's a flying character, he does go a little bit further back than Warpath, so that's okay, good stuff. And then he can spin waist. And then like with Warpath 2, he has the upper, what is that called? Upper thigh cut. And both of them do have a boot cut as well. I didn't show that on Warpath. See, I keep wanting to say Thunderbird. Can kick up that much and about that far back, which is all right. And he can go up that much if I didn't already show that. Double jointed knees. Feet can go up that much down. And then of course, thankfully, ankle pivot. So the articulation on these guys, just absolutely phenomenal. There's nothing wrong there. I'm glad that the Legends and Hasbro are really starting to learn that we need that range so that we can get nice poses for our shelves and for photography. Now for size comparison, here is Warpath and Sunspot next to the Shatterstar that we've already gone over, and then the two that we have not yet gone over, but we will. Here's Cannonball and Cable, and as you can see, they all scale very well together. And I can't wait till I can get through the review of each X-Force member and just kind of finally do another team photo, kind of get in on the Shatterstar review, because, oh guys, I'm so excited. As I gotten older, I appreciate more of the X Factor and the X-Force books and what they were trying to do back in the 90s, and I kind of wish that we could capture that magic in modern times, because a lot of the newer books are kind of but that's just my opinion. But nonetheless, guys, these are figures you want in your collection, especially if you're an action figure collector and not so much a comic collector like I am. I'm both, and so just having tangible versions of the characters that I grew up with just excites me beyond, words. So yeah, great scaling. The Warpath and Cable, they may look out of scale here, but that's because they're crouched, but they do look well. They're both bulky characters, and as you can see, Sunspot and Shatterstar look great together, and then of course Cannonball's a little bit bigger with his explosion, which Hasbro, give us a replacement kit for some legs, please. But yeah, guys, great figures, and I'd love to hear what you think down in the comments below. Overall, these figures are magnificent. They are very comic accurate and very well sculpted. I'm glad that I was able to pick these up, and I'm just so happy that the X-Force team is finally coming together. Again, once we get a Feral and then a Siren and a Richter, we'll be good to go. I am loving these figures. The only qualms that I have is with Warpath. These shoulder pads are a pain in the butt, because when you try to move his arms up too high, they pop off and you have to work it down. I wish they would have made the pegs just a little bit longer so that you wouldn't have to worry about that. I'm glad that they kind of worked out the problem with the hair, because you can kind of work around that for the most part. Sunspot, I have no problems with. I think he is very well articulated, because he's not as bulky of a figure as obviously Warpath is. But great figures overall, guys. And if you're an X-Force fan or a New Mutants fan, definitely want to get these in your collection. So if you've enjoyed them, please first and foremost check with your local comic shop to see if you can get them. And if not, then you can go the routes that I've spoken at the beginning. And also, these blades, please make sure if you're a Warpath fan, go on eBay and see if you can get these blades from the older figure. I can't remember which one it was. I just put in Warpath blades and I came up with those two, and it really finishes the figure off, especially since they gave you open hands on this. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate it if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. Helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little mutant bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys will get notified. Come to the channel, and we love talking with y'all and hearing your feedback down in the comments below, or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description below. So with all that said, I hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.